So today's topic going to be very interesting. Science says your body is written in a code, 4 letters, 3 billion characters, a
Hmm.
blueprint you inherited from your parents.
Exactly. And Bapuji says that is true. But
Mhm.
it is the last page of the story, not the first.
Mm. So Chetna ji, who wrote the earlier pages?
Interesting. You did over many births in a body you have never seen yet.
Wow. Param Shanti. Welcome to Era of Supreme Peace. I am Mona.
And I'm Chetna, and today we go into the most unusual book in the Behad Gyan library, which is Decoding DNA.
Hmm. So, Supreme Peace to every soul listening. Before we begin, one thing must be said clearly, and we say it with full seriousness.
So, this episode is a spiritual philosophy and contemplation only. Nothing here is a medical advice. Nothing here is the diagnosis treats, prevents, or cures any physical or mental condition. So, we are not offering a miracle cure and we are not asking anyone to step away from the qualified medical care. If you are dealing with any health condition, please stay with the registered doctor.
Yeah. So, Bapuji Dashat Bhai Patel himself never places spirituality against medicine. And
Right.
in this very book, he says medicine serves the physical body, prayer supports the subtle body, and
Hmm.
the causal body connects to power and divine light. So all three have their place.
Right. And so, what we are discussing today is the third layer, the layer science does not measure.
Yeah. So let's set a frame. Chetna ji, science studies DNA on the gross physical level. It looks inside the cell. It maps the molecule. But
Mhm.
what does Behad Gyan or infinite knowledge add?
Right. So, Behad Gyan does not contradict that. It says go behind it, behind the cell. Just go
Mm,
further, actually. There is a
mhm,
body.
mm,
Behind the body, there is the soul. And
mm,
between them, there is a bridge. And that bridge is the causal body, the Karan Sharir.
mm. And that bridge is the whole subject of today's episode.
Wonderful. The
Mhm.
whole subject. Because Bapuji's core statement in this book is simple and enormous at the same time. In reality, DNA is only one fragment of the soul.
Hmm. One
Mhm.
fragment, not the
Yes.
whole. Say that again slowly, one fragment, not the whole, because that single line recognizes everything.
DNA is only one fragment of the soul. It's very
Yeah,
powerful line.
yes. So let's build this properly. Behad Gyan, the infinite knowledge, says the human being is not one body,
Mhm.
it is three bodies interlocked.
Yeah. So three. So the first one is the Sthul Sharir, which we see ourselves, the gross physical body, the Sukshma Sharir, the subtle body, and the Karan Sharir, which we call it the causal body.
And each one is made of different animal elements.
Yes. And
Hmm,
this is so beautiful. The gross body is made of water and earth. The
hmm,
densest elements are this water and earth. The
hmm,
subtle body is made of air and fire. And the
hmm,
causal body is made of the akash, which is space or ether element.
hmm,
The sub the sublist
hmm.
of the five elements.
Yeah. So as you go inward, the material gets finer.
Yes, finer and finer until
Mhm.
it is almost nothing. And
Hmm.
that nothing is where everything is stored.
Yeah. So now here is the point that stops everyone. Bapuji says DNA is not only in the gross body, or we can say in physical body.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Wow. Not only every cell carries the information and everybody of existence carries a record. A causal
Mhm.
body is the hidden root, and the DNA of the physical body is its outer expression. So the
Hmm.
gross body shows the result. The cause started somewhere much earlier.
Wow. So the physical body shows the result, but the cause already
Yes.
started somewhere much earlier. So, Chetna ji, give the listener this image. What actually is the causal body we are talking about?
Yes, Monaji. So Bapuji gives the definition in one line. The body that is formed from the thoughts created in the mind, that is the causal body.
Mm. So, it is literally built out of thought, what we think, what kind of thoughts we have.
Yeah, exactly. Built
Mm.
out of repeated thoughts.
Mm.
That's the mechanism. The
Mm.
mind creates a thought is repeated, repetition makes a pattern. The pattern becomes part of the causal body. And
Mm.
then that pattern presses outward into the
Mhm.
subtle body, and finally it comes into the physical body.
So, it's from inward to outwards, never the reverse.
Exactly, never the reverse. That's why Bapuji calls the causal body the memory body of the soul. And it
Mm.
is the place where the soul's power is lost, stored, or recovered. So it is
Mm.
the place where the soul's power is lost, either lost or stored or recovered.
Mm. And that also answers some people ask, sometimes their whole life, why do I keep repeating the same pattern, same reactions, same emotional loops, different people, different years, but everything is just same. Why?
Wow.
Hmm.
Because the pattern is not the situation, it is the causal body. The situation only pulls it out.
Okay. And Bapuji extends that across the births, not even just in one birth, in your one life cycle, across the whole cycles. Wow.
Yes.
Mm.
Across births, as you said, the same inner structure, the same emotional tendencies carry forward because the record traveled with the soul. So record
Mm.
travel with the soul.
Mm. Mm. So now, next topic is how thought becomes biology. Let's do the chain step by step. This is the spine of the book.
Very interesting. The
Mhm.
sequence Bapuji described in this soul, mind, then intellect, then action, then sanskar, then causal body, then subtle body, then gross body, then final output is DNA.
Wow. Walk us through it, Chetna ji.
Yes.
Mm.
So Bapuji explained that in the soul's original state, the mind is pure,
Mm.
satopradhan, which is clean,
Mm.
undisturbed over time through the discrimination of the right and wrong, over time through the
Mm.
discrimination of right and wrong, the intellect develops. Based on those choices, repeated action begins, and repeated action creates the sanskar, deep
Mm.
impression inside the soul.
Mm.
So those sanskar build the causal body. causal body, and the causal body finally expresses itself outwards as the body you see in the mirror.
So, Chetanji, DNA is not purely inherited.
It is not purely inherited, it is also shaped by inner life. So, the
Oh.
more a thought is repeated, the more permanent it becomes. The more permanent the pattern, the more visible it becomes in the body.
Hmm. So, which means negative thinking is not harmless.
That's exactly Bapuji's warning. Negative thoughts are not harmless. Slowly, quietly, they enter the record of the body. They
Oh.
enter the record of the body.
And this is where the book explains identical twins.
Yes, and I find this is most convincing part of the modern listener. Science can say no two DNA patterns are identical, not even in twins. Behad Gyan asks the next question why?
Why?
So, what Bapuji explained in the book, because the body is formed according to the sanskar, which we understood in the previous dialogue. So, sanskar of the soul, and two
Mm.
souls carry the different karmic records,
Hmm.
different tendencies, different impressions. So, even in the same womb, the same genetics, the same parents, two different souls will shape two different expressions.
Oh, wow. Okay. So the physical uniqueness is not only genetic variation.
It is the visible expression of the soul's invisible history. Bapuji's
Hmm.
line is the mind thinks, the intellect decide, and the sanskar imprints. Monaji, I feel like we should clip it out. It's a wonderful. Can you press
Wonderful
that
line.
square button?
Yeah.
We can clip it out.
Yeah. So the mind thinks, the intellect decides. We say
Yes.
in mind, man, thoughts in the mind, and the
Yes.
buddhi, with the intellect, we decide what is right or wrong. And when
Yes.
we keep on repeating same, it becomes a pattern. It becomes your sanskar, your attributes, and the impressions
Yes.
on your causal body. Hmm. Wow. So why patterns weaken? Now the harder chapter. Why do
Hmm.
these patterns weaken?
So, what Bapuji says about this, they weaken when the soul accumulates vikarma, which is negative action,
Mm-hmm.
negative thinking,
Mm-hmm.
prolonged stress. So, what negative thinking does, it prolongs the stress, sorrow, fear, emotional shock, wrong company, repeated wrong action.
Wow. And the order of damage matters here, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the order matters completely. The damage does not begin in the gross body, it begins in the record. If a
Mm-hmm.
person lives in a sorrow for a long time, that pressure settles into the mind. Mental pressure affects the causal body.
Mm-hmm.
The causal body affects the subtle body, and only at the end does the gross body reflect it.
Wow. So, which is why Bapuji says many conditions do not appear suddenly.
Yeah, they are often the final result of the long inner process. A person can feel completely fine on the outside because the body has not yet expressed the inner pattern, but the root may already be present in the inner layers. This is so deep.
Wow. It's so deep. So deep, yeah. So, the root may be already present in the inner layers.
Yes.
That's why some people they say, I was fine, everything was good, I was exercising, I was eating good food, everything was good, I was happy, I had money, this, that. But who knows when this inner pattern will come out?
Triggered.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yes, yeah. So, Chetna ji, we should hold the line here again.
We should, and gladly, this is a spiritual interpretation. It is not a medical explanation. It's an interpretation,
Sure.
and it is never substitute of the medical care. Bapuji is
Mhm.
describing the moment of the consciousness, not
Mhm.
writing a diagnosis. Please keep that separation clean in your mind.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And the book also talks about environment.
Yes, it does. So, wrong food, wrong company, unhealthy conversation, emotional
Mm.
disturbance, all of this push the mind into the wrong direction. And when the mind is disturbed, the causal body weakens. And when the causal body weakens, the subtle body weakens, and the gross body eventually mirrors that imbalance.
So, the environment you keep is not a lifestyle choice,
Mhm.
it is a spiritual input.
Yeah, it is an input in like directly into your record.
So, what you putting in, it
Yes,
will eventually come out.
a thought.
So, yes, why positive thinking is just not enough. And now, the chapter I think will surprise the modern listener the most. Bapuji says positive thinking is not enough.
Exactly. It's not enough, and he's not dismissing it. He's placing it correctly, like positive thought can stop further damage, like going
Hmm.
forward, if you do positive
Hmm.
thinking. It can prevent new negativity from accumulating. But it
Hmm.
cannot by itself erase the deep records accumulated from the past actions and even past words.
Hmm. So the entire self-help industry is operating at one level only, right? They can help you affirmations and all those kind of things.
Yes.
Hmm.
So at the surface level, we can say very useful at the surface level. But Bapuji says that the soul does not only need an attitude, the soul needs the Shakti, which is power.
Hmm. And where does that power come from?
That power comes from, which is Param Prakash, the divine light, the supreme light,
Hmm.
from the true spiritual
Hmm.
connection and the accurate
Hmm.
remembrance of the supreme yoke. Like Bapuji gives the analogy, everyone remembers a bulb cannot glow unless it is connected to the powerhouse. In the same way, the
Hmm.
soul cannot become fully powerful unless it is connected to the true source of supreme power.
Hmm. So Chetna ji, bulb is not defective, it is unplugged. It's just not connected. Hmm.
Yes, that's the whole teaching in one sentence. The bulb is not
Hmm.
defective, it is unplugged.
Hmm. And as the soul receives power,
Yes. Do you hear me?
Hanji, Hanji, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So the causal body begins to be re-registered. So as the soul receives power, the
Hmm.
causal body begins to re-register, re-energize. Old negative sanskar weaken, and the deep pattern begins to return towards its original pure state. So Bapuji describes this
Hmm.
as a renewal, not as a biology, but as a restoration of the soul's original purity and power.
And that is a thread, we can say, a sutra that holds all three layers together. So as we get the power through the connection, and it restores the soul's original purity and power, and that holds all these three layers: causal, subtle, and the physical together.
Physical. Yes.
Wonderful. Mm.
So medicine is for gross body. And generally in Hindi we say dua and dawa, dawa and dua, right? So dua supports the subtle
Yeah,
body.
right.
Like blessings from needy person. What Bapuji
Yeah,
says, that dua, right? That supports the subtle body,
yeah.
and the causal body connects
Mhm.
with the power and divine light.
Yes. So beautiful. So nothing is rejected, everything is placed. So,
Certainly.
Chitnaji, the book also opens outward into the
Hmm.
structure of bodies across the different realms or the lokas, we can say. Loks, yeah.
Yes. So Bapuji described the layered creation. The deities of
Mm-hmm.
Swarglok, we call it heaven, are described as
Mm-hmm.
having three elemental bodies, which we know that ether element, air
Mm-hmm.
element, and the fire element. We also call it farishtas. So farishtas are described as a higher celestial being with the body of supreme light, Param Prakash.
Mm-hmm. And above that,
And above heaven, there is a Vaikunt, Vaikunt Dham. We call it Vishnupuri also, which ordinary three
mm-hmm.
elemental bodies cannot reach. Above Vaikunt,
Mm-hmm.
there is a Shivpuri dimension. I think, and above that Shivpuri dimension, there is a supreme abode.
Mm-hmm. Which is in corporeal form, right? Not.
Yes.
Yeah. And the soul moves upward through these by what means? How can they?
Yeah. So what explains that through Gyan, through Atma Abhiman, that is soul consciousness. So first is knowledge, second is like soul consciousness, and through the divine remembrance. The completely
Hmm.
incorporeal state is attained only when all karmic bondage is dissolved.
Okay, okay. So, through the soul consciousness and divine remembrance, the completely incorporeal state is attained when all karmic bondages are gone. So, the type of body a soul takes is determined by its own power.
Determined by its own power, which loops us right back to DNA. The
Mhm.
body is connected to level of existence that science does not measure. DNA is not only physical.
And there is that thread here, the sutra, we can
Yes.
say.
So those who remember incorporeal Shiv or Almighty, like Supreme Father, in the Supreme Abode, receive power from
Mhm.
the Almighty Supreme alone.
Hmm. So let's land it. Someone is listening right now and asking, what do I actually do? How can I protect my causal body?
Hmm. So what Bapuji is very practical over here. He says that the first step in protecting the causal body is to change your lifestyle. Three principles.
Okay, one.
The first one is avoid emotional disturbance. Repeated emotional distress puts pressure on the mind and damage the causal body. Hmm.
And two,
And the
second one.
second one is avoid a stressful life. A life filled with the tension slowly weakens the mind and creates the negative sanskar.
Wow. And the third one, Chetnaji.
Third one is stay mentally stable. Mental stability protects the causal body from the further damage.
Wow. And then the deeper practice, thoughtless silence.
Wow. This is the one of Bapuji's most powerful teachings. When the mind is thoughtless, the energy of the soul is conserved, not spent, not late. Maybe you can repeat it one more time.
Yeah, so Bapuji's teaching here is when mind is in silence, in thoughtlessness, the energy of soul is conserved because we are not thinking anything. It's not, the power is not spent, it's not leaked anywhere. So,
Yeah.
and the practical guidance, Chetna ji.
Speak less, spend time in solitude, avoid crowded, noisy places, maintain the inner silence.
uh, and what is Bapuji's phrase for this?
A very famous,
Antarmukhi Sada Sukhi. Yes,
yes.
yeah.
The one who turns inward is always happy, and he gives the mechanism. When the mind becomes quiet, the ether element increases, and that strengthens the causal body.
Hmm. So silence is not empty. Silence is
Yeah,
construction, we can say.
yes.
Very wonderful
Very.
point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Silence is construction. Every quiet Amrit Vela you sit in is literally building the subtlest body you own.
Hmm. Your causal body, your ether element.
Yes,
So, and the final chapter names the destination. Become karmatit.
yes. So
Hmm.
the highest stage Bapuji describes, the Karmatit stage. In that stage, the causal body is filled with 100% energy, like full of light body. All negative
Mm-hmm.
karmic sanskars and influences are burnt. The soul becomes extremely powerful because soul is coming to the original state now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, soul becomes extremely powerful and free. Free too, right?
free from the cycle of karma and sorrow. No karma equals to
Hmm.
no sorrow.
Hmm. So, Chetna ji, one last thought before we close. What is the shift you want a listener to carry out of this episode?
Yeah, so the most people spend their whole life trying to fix the last page, the body,
Mm-hmm.
the outcome, the
Hmm.
visible result. Here, Bapuji
Hmm.
is pointing at the first page. Change the thought,
Hmm. Hmm.
originality, like change the thought and the sanskar changes. Change the
Hmm.
sanskar and the causal body changes. And change the causal body and everything downstream of it eventually changes too.
So wonderful. So, according to Bapuji, real transformation happens when the soul receives gyan, knowledge,
Yes, right.
connects to the supreme source, gains spiritual power, sanskars change, karma improves, and the life transforms.
Not managed, transformed.
Yeah. So science gives us the structure, but this spiritual wisdom given by Bapuji Dashat Bhai Patel, the Behad Gyan, gives us the cause. And Bapuji says without spirituality, science works only on the outer layer of existence.
So true. So,
Hmm.
this week, one practice 10 minutes of the thoughtless silence. Don't try to think
Hmm.
positively, just stop adding to the record.
Hmm.
Don't try
And
to
that
think positively, just stop adding to the record.
adding to the record. Yeah, that is the homework. Simple and easy.
Simple and not easy though. The best one never ever, never are.
The best ones never are. Yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for walking with us. The full book, Decoding DNA, The Universe Written Inside You, is available in the Param Shanti Library, and Bapuji's discourses are on the official channel, Bapuji Dashat Bhai Patel. There are thousands of videos on different topics. So be a
Yes.
seeker, go there, listen, and transform yourself. Remember, Bapuji's goal is from self transformation, the world
World
transformation
transformation.
will happen. Yeah.
So share this with one soul who needs it. That is Mansa Seva. Means
Mm.
uh, seva,
Serving
service
through
from
the
your heart.
thoughts. Yeah. 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 From your heart, from your thoughts, from your
Thoughts.
vibrations. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining.
Thank
And
you.
see you in next episode. Have a wonderful day. Supreme peace. Param
Ram
Shanti.
Shanti. Supreme peace.